Two wheels in the open road. Got the throttle wide open. Feel my pace. Got 100 horses between my legs. No destination. No end in sight. Just me in the open road. Riding into the moonlight. On my two wheels. All that I need is white lines and gasoline. Life in the fast lane. It's easy to maintain. Just twist the throttle on back and feel no pain.
Nestled outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in here to the All Pro Broadcast Network. We're at Charlotte Motor Speedway for some great truck racing action brought to you by All Pro Racing here today. It's going to be a lot of exciting racing, side-by-side racing action between these Camping World Truck Series. It's the Chevy Silverados and the Toyota Tundras battling it out for 50 laps around this track here today. And I tell you what, folks, it will be heating up because there is a cash prize special event here today going on. So you definitely want to keep your eye out on a lot of these drivers right now. They are set to go qualifying. I'm Dustin Caldwell today, and joining me in the booth is Alex Rich. We got Michael D'Amico on cameras, and we want to thank you again for tuning in here to the All Pro Broadcast Network here on Twitch. If you got a favorite driver out there, make sure you give a shout out. Let us know who you're going to predict to win here today, as we have a great field. It looks like we're seeing about close to 36 drivers right now who put down a practice time today, and as these drivers are going qualifying, we'll get some of those times up there for you. Alex, have you ever been to Charlotte Motor Speedway?
Actually, I have. It's a real fast track, and especially running at night, you can get a lot of really good grip on this place. So, especially in the truck series, you can really get around this place and get some fast times. As we're actually seeing some of the qualifying laps come in now, these are some really fast times. So, looking forward to seeing a lot of really good, lot of good action out of the trucks tonight.
And as we take a look at the qualifying times coming in right now, the number 22 of Kyle Weatherman has a qualifying time. It's the fastest on the board, 28.344. In second, you got that 28 of Colin Bauer right behind him with a 28.386, but he's going to be bumped down as Seth the Merchant. I've seen this guy race here, Alex, and I tell you what, Seth the Merchant is a great guy. He can really put down some great times in these trucks. So the number 19 truck there, he's qualifying time right now, 28.298. So it looks like the 28s are going to have it. Look at the times there, Alex. You notice how quick these guys are. Not much separates them between the first and 10th position. Very close times. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, they're very, very close, but I mean, 28.298, man, that is flying around this place. I mean, the only way that I know really being able to get a lap that quick is basically you don't lift. You stay on the throttle 100% of the time and just hug the white line as much as you can. And your first lap and a half, you're not gonna, you're gonna scrub off a tiny bit, but I mean, you're basically got the pedal to the floorboard the entire time. And man, that's a fast time.
Would you say there's any points of no interest here on this track? I always hear turn one is always the toughest because of the hump with that tunnel coming into the track to the infield. Drivers always talk about that, and when they want to stay high and be able to get some good grip going into turn number one, it could spell disaster if you hit it the wrong way.
It definitely can. I mean, my focus would really probably more be turns 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are the radius around it is a little bit tighter. So you'll see probably a couple different approaches. Some guys like to keep it as far down on the white line as they can, but as I've been watching, some people drift up the track and kind of run a higher line, so that way they're not scrubbing as much speed going into 3 and 4, and they can kind of keep their momentum going a little bit faster as they're coming off that last turn on 4. So I would say probably 3 and 4 is going to be a good spot to look at some pretty good passes there.
Well, you have to take our word for it, folks. Alex Rich definitely knows this track, and we will definitely keep our eyes out on turns 3 and 4 for some great racing action. We've seen another series brought to you here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. Silver Crowns, turn 4 claimed a lot of victims there, as it is a little bit bitey coming off that 4th turn. Now, folks, we want to tell you again, this is a special event put on by All Pro Racing. If you're interested and joining the All Pro Racing League. Check them out on the web, www.all-pro-racing.com, or on Facebook. Just look up All Pro Racing. But we want to thank you again for tuning in here to the All Pro Broadcast Network. We got about 30 seconds remaining in qualifying, and I tell you what, Alex, it looks like the Merchant's going to hold with that 28.298.
Yeah, I don't see anybody touching that time. I mean, there's a couple people that have been moving up, but for the most part, I mean, that's an incredibly quick lap. I mean, that's just about as perfect as you can get, and I think he'll hold on to the top spot pretty easily there.
And just want to let you know here before we go to the grid, folks, they are running a 45% fuel limit here today at this track. Track temperature is set at 65 degrees as the temperature. It's what they would call speed weather. But it looks like now they are starting to make their way down to the grid. So let's go ahead and go down to the grid, get you some good action here is where your drivers stand for today's special event race. And it looks like making their way to the pole. Still waiting on the Merchant to get down there to the pole so we can go ahead and let you know who's sponsoring that truck here today. And folks, we do apologize if we get some sponsorships wrong on these trucks. There's been a little bit of issue with trading paints, but there he is. There's your pole sitter here, folks. On the pole, the number 19 Camping World Truck Silverado, the 28.298 qualifying time, the number 19 of Seth the Merchant. To his outside, you got that number 26 of Jason Moscow running that Junior Motorsports Silverado. Starting inside lane of that second row, the number 22 of Kyle Retherman in that Wrangler Tundra. Definitely put down a good time. Qualifying time here, 28.344. To his outside in fourth position. Starting outside second lane, you have the number 11 of Dwayne Vincent here with a 28.381. Looking back, rounding out the top five, the number 28 of Colin Bauer in that Moon Pie Chevy Silverado there with a qualifying time, 28.386. Who's outside hasn't made it away to the grid as the number 88 of Josh Lambert will be sitting in sixth. Alex, why don't you go ahead and give us the next row, bud?
Yeah, it looks like we just did Colin Brower, I believe. Brandon McKissick is going to be next. The number 40 DuPont Chevy Silverado. And then looks like we got Jake Nichols in the number 29 Toyota Tundra, Dollar General Toyota Tundra. Next is going to be Ryan Libby. He's got a custom paint scheme there. Can't really see exactly what the sponsorship is on it, but he's got a Toyota Tundra as well. And then we have Jacob Anderson in the number 128 Chevy Silverado Pennzoil machine.
And as we take a look at 11th position, you've got the number 64 of Alex Hallinar there running that nice-looking Silverado. His outside in 12th, Jacob Anderson, 128 Pennzoil machine. You have Nicholas Duquette in number 13, position number 13 in that Bass Pro Shops number 24 Silverado. His outside in 14th position, Chris Overland running that DuPont number 47. 15th, you got the number 12 of Cody Vincent. No relation particular to Dwayne Vincent there. Number 16th position, it's going to be the 27 of Quinn Johnston. We got Donald King, Harold Schroeder, Brent Sturgeon, Tyler Gray, Dave Potson, Danny Rudy, Braxton Proper, Ed Hewitt, and Skip Birdsey rounding out the field here today, folks. We're going to be set to go green. It's going to be DeMerchant and Moscow taking us to the green for the start of this 50-lap race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're now making their way into turn number 4. Let's get on our feet, folks, for this exciting race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pace cars set to go into the pits. And coming out of turn number 4, you're going to see that Mustang iRacing go down. There it goes, the 19, the 26, ready to take us green for 50 laps of race action here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Green flag flies, and we're off to the races. And you're already side-by-side racing action coming into turn number 1. Let's see if they keep it clean. Alex, I tell you what, you can't win a race in turn number 1, but you definitely can lose it there, buddy.
Yeah, you certainly can. I mean, looking at everybody going through turn 1 and 2, looks like pretty much everybody got through clean. And you just want to kind of, it's a 50-lap race, so you don't want to drive overly aggressive at the beginning. Just kind of feel things out and see where your truck is going to sit, and just get yourself in position for hopefully what's going to be a pretty long green flag run. So that way we can figure out who's the truck to beat.
And as we take a look back at 5th position right now, Colin Bauer in the number 28 truck is working side by side with the 29 of Jake Nichols, battling hard for that 5th position. They are side by side. You do have the 29 of Nichols in 5th position, and it looks like he's going to take the commanding lead over that 28 as they head into turns number 3 and 4. But you got the 40 right there of Brandon McKissick. Very colorful looking truck as he makes his way out of turn number 4, gets close to that wall. It's not going to hit it, but that is a good sign there. And right behind them in that 128 of Jacob Anderson in that Pennzoil truck, trying to get up there, making his way up into turn number 2, coming down that back straightaway. Got some good side-by-side battles. What else you see in there, Alex?
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I was just noticing is it looks like from about 6th on back we're double file. That actually looks like the 40 just got in the wall there coming off of 4.
Oh, it is. The 40 went up into the wall. You called it already, Alex. Talking about turn numbers 3 and 4 is where we're going to have some good racing. But you can see, we'll go to the replay for you, folks, and you're going to see the number 40 of Brandon McKissick just gets really loose. Have to back it up a little bit. Maybe there was some contact. Yes, there was some contact made there with the 28. 28 being, let's get that driver name, the 28 of Colin Bauer coming out of turn number 3 into turn 4. Contact made low. That's going to send the number 40 of McKissick up into the wall. And you're going to see, I believe it's the 47 of Chris Overland's going to get tagged by the 40, as well as the 24. That's the 24 of Nicholas Duquette going to get caught. And wow, they go spinning across towards the start-finish line. And man, the number 7 of Harold Schroeder is just going to smack that 40. If add insult to injury to McKissick's truck, as it's going to go flying up into the catch finish across the start-finish line there, folks. We're only 4 laps into it, and I tell you what, Alex, it's been quite a good racing so far.
Yeah, it has been, but I mean that's the same thing. See, that's why I said something about 4, because I knew 4 was going to be a spot where people were really going to either have to figure out how they're going to get through that, and you know, we weren't really in long enough on that run to be able to figure out where everybody was going to be running, and it just looked like people got too squirrely too soon, and one guy was taking a line that was a little bit different than the 40, and they just got together and caused the entire wreck.
Yeah, and you definitely want to give the first 10 laps of any race a quote-unquote grace period, because you get a lot of drivers who haven't raced around each other before, and it's almost their honeymooning, getting them used to their tactics, their skill level, where they're going to go, their racecraft, as well as where they're going to put at their line on the track. And as we've seen it today, we already have a wreck here on race number 4, or lap number 4, excuse me, and it's McKissick who's going to get the most of it.
Yeah, and it looks like we got a bunch of trucks that are hitting pit road right now to get new tires and possibly get some damage repaired. Obviously, there's going to be some trucks that are going to have to use their reset to get back, but there's a whole line of trucks that went into the pits on that.
And as we look now, the 24 of Nicholas Duquette is making his way off pit road. Still have not seen the number 40 of Brandon McKissick come off of pit lane. I think he's got a lot of damage. Don't know if we're going to see him back in this race here today. So while we are pitting here on lap number 6, folks, let's go ahead and give you the top 5 rundown as it stands. You got the number 19 of Seth the Merchant, who started on the pole, still out to a good lead here today, followed by the 22 of Kyle Weatherman. And then you'll have the 26 of Jason Moscow, who started to the outside, position number 2. So a little bit of flip-flop between P3 and P2. Number 29 of Jake Nichols, hard charger so far, started 10th, is sitting in 4th. And the number 11 of Dwayne Vincent, who started 4th, is dropped 1 position to P number 5. We are almost getting ready to be on lap number 7. If you were sitting out there, Alex, tell us, if you were sitting out there right now, what would be going through your mind if you were Seth the Merchant?
Well, if I was Seth, I mean, you're in the spot you want to be more than anybody, obviously. You want to be out front and get clean air, because everybody knows these trucks are very aero dirty, and you run fast enough at Charlotte to where you know aerodynamics are definitely a key thing here. You can pull a little bit of a draft off of people on the back stretch, so the truck's going to handle and plant better in the corners being out front like that. So if I was him, I'd just keep doing exactly what he's doing, and the best thing you want to see is no trucks in front of you.
And as we look right now, the only thing in front of the Merchant is the pace car. The lights have come off that Mustang iRacing pace car as they make their way into the back straightaway. It will be Seth the Merchant, Kyle Weatherman taking us green, folks. And when we head back to lap number 8, Jason Moscow and Jake Nichols will be in the second row. Dwayne Vincent and Jacob Anderson, who will be up there. Looking at these polls, I mean, another hard charger I'm looking at right now is the number 25 of Tyler Gray. This guy started 20th and has made his way up to 9th position. So definitely, they say too fast, too soon, but hopefully the nerves won't get to him here, Alex, as we're about to go green, heading into turn number three, of this 7th lap. We'll be going back to green on 8th. This is the All Pro Racing's special event here today. Thanks for tuning in out there on Twitch TV, folks. Coming out of turn number 4, here comes the pace car into the pits. It's DeMerchant and Weatherman taking us back green on lap number 8. Green flag flies, and we're back to the race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Look at him heading towards turn number 1. DeMerchant's got the line. Down comes the 22 of Kyle Weatherman. Almost a little bit of contact made there. He got danger close. And look at the 29 of Jake Nichols. He's going to lose out to Jason Moscow, who takes the lower line. It looks like that lower line is working there, Alex, as they make their way into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, the low line's definitely the place to be right now, but I think as the tires wear off, you're going to see people start slipping and sliding going through, especially 3 and 4, and you'll see the line start to gradually move up a little bit. And that's the type of racing I really kind of like to watch, because you're going to see people be able to move in and out of the pack, and you'll see a lot of positions change there. And it looks like we got maybe possibly a challenge for the lead.
Yeah, look at these guys battling hard for P2, almost 3 wide into the back straightaway. The 29 of Jake Nichols was trying to take that low lane. Oh, the 22 of Kyle Weatherman's going to hit the wall, and he's going to lose a few positions. You see the 11 of Dwayne Vincent now making his way up to P4. And look at this battle for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Coming into lap number 10, the 26 of Jason Moscow is going to be taking the lead, heading down the back straightaway. Will he have enough to be able to deem once he hits across the start-finish line, making her way into lap traffic now. Oh, and it's tough. 3 wide heading into turns 3 and 4. And the 26 of Jason Moscow, your race leader, coming into lap number 11. He's able to overtake the 19 of Seth DeMerchant.
That was a pretty big power move, too. I mean, he was able to pass almost without any kind of incident at all. You're definitely going to have to keep an eye on him. He's pretty fast.
And a lot of composure there from the 26. As we see the 19 tries to take the low line into turns 3, but has to check up. And here comes the 29 of Jake Nichols, almost into the bumper there of DeMerchant. But you've got to give some composure credit there to the 26 of Jason Moscow, as he was able to go 3 wide and maintain it. But we got some cars spinning now. Across the grass is going to be the 128 of Jacob Anderson. A little bit of contact made there. And I believe that was with... Oh, was it? Trying to figure out who exactly what it was. I can't get the good camera angle on it. If you happen to see it, let me know there, Alex.
Looking at the 64 on the inside.
Looks like it was the 128 and the 64. So the 128 of Jacob Anderson and the 64 of Alex Hallinar are going to get into it a little bit. 27 there of Quinn Johnston was running the low line. Luckily, he avoided all that, and they're just going to get caught up. It's a racing incident, folks. They're going to go spinning across the grass. No harm, no foul. Looks like the 128 is going to get the brunt of the damage there. So that'll bring out the caution flag for the second time in this race here on lap number 13.
It looked like it was all started by Ryan Libby. He was taking a high line going into 3 and 4, and it looks like he just brushed the wall, checked up, and as soon as he did, those other 2 trucks just spun off of each other.
And that's when you get close to 3 wide, those type of things can happen, as everybody's wondering what the other driver's going to do rather than maintaining the course, and you lose your composure, you're going to lose control of your car, and next thing you know, you're going to be sitting down for repairs on pit lane. As we talk about that, Alex, we see some drivers making their way down the pit lane. The leaders, the 26 of Jason Moscow, the 19 of Seth DeMerchant, are making their way down the pit lane. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, as you mentioned, quite a bit of trucks that are taking a pit road right now, and quite a bit of people that actually stayed out too. It looks like Nicholas Doucette stayed out, Brandon McSick stayed out, Braxton Proper stayed out, so did Ed Hewitt too. And
also now it's a 4-tire swap and some fuel for the 26 of Moscow and the 19 of DeMerchant making their way off. Moscow was able to beat DeMerchant off of pit road. So we'll have to see how that'll play out once the gridding order gets reshuffled here as some of the guys are pitting. But folks, we do want to let you know that we now have our third commentator in the booth here today. Got caught up in traffic making his way to the track here today. Ronald James is going to be joining us in the booth. Ronald, how you doing there, buddy?
We're doing real good there, Dustin. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Alex and I have been witnessing a great show as our folks out there in YouTube. We're happy that you're able to make it here with us here today. And I see some people out there in YouTube giving a good shout out to everybody here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. They're thrilled with what we put on. And oh, look at that. Braxton Proper, the number 14 truck, fakes out pit road like he wanted to go down there and decided to stay out. I think he's trying to gain some positioning. As they come across the start-finish line, he's going to be deemed the race leader here on lap number 15. What would you got to say about that there, Alex?
That was a pretty big fake-out move. I mean, he had me fooled, that's for sure.
And it looks like, I believe, right in front of him, if I'm not mistaken, that is the 30 of Ed Hewitt. And it looks like Ed Hewitt may be getting the lucky dog as the lights have come off. Well, no, not yet. The lights are still on that Mustang iRacing pace car, so a couple cars up there battling, trying to get that lucky dog, get the wave around. Ed Hewitt is one lap down here in this race, so we'll be looking once they go across the start-finish line to get the wave around, and he will be starting at the tail. But I don't know. I'm seeing it here, Alex. As I take a look at the order, it looks like the 28 of Colin Bauer is in P17 one lap down. You think he would be getting the lucky dog? We'll have to see how race control plays that out. You know, if I'm always one lap down, I definitely want to be able to get that lucky dog. And where Ed Hewitt is sitting, he definitely wants it now as Braxton Propers. Give you a top 5 rundown here, folks. Once they cross the start-finish line, we'll give you this here as the pace car is now making its way up to the start-finish line here on lap number 14. Lights have come off, so let's go ahead and give you a top 5 rundown as it stands. The number 14 of Braxton Proper is your race leader, followed by the 12 of Cody Vincent, the 22 of Kyle Weatherman, the 26 of Jason Moscow, and the 19 of Seth DeMerchant. So Moscow and DeMerchant were leading heading into this last caution, and now they're going to be sitting at P4, P5 respectively, and it all comes down to the crew of the 26 getting them off of pit lane faster than DeMerchant. DeMerchant, you're a fast guy coming into the race here today, but it is Braxton Proper who's up there not really liking the pace of that pace car up there. He's letting them know he's going to elect. That's what he's doing. He's electing to take the outside lane. What do you think about that, Alex? I mean, we've seen the low line been working, and he wants to take the outside lane?
Well, maybe he just wants to take a little bit further around the course and see if he can get a better bite out of 1 and 2. I mean, it takes a little bit to get going once you get down the back straight where you're pretty much into full speed, but that'll be an interesting strategy. I'm curious to see how Proper and Vincent and Weatherman are how they're able to keep up with everybody else.
Well, pace cars into the pits. It is Proper Vincent taking us back green here on lap number 17, coming across the start-finish line, and look at that high groove move. They're able to get out, and look who's right there with them, folks. The 26 of Jason Moscow's pushing that 14, heading out of turn number 2 into the back straightaway. Look at them go, and they're getting a run. Here comes the 22 of Kyle Weatherman, and we got 3 wide here, Alex, working our way towards turn number 3.
Oh, and there's some contact there. Looks like McKissick might have got into him.
Yeah, and there's still contact being made. Oh, and there goes somebody into the grass. My goodness, folks. It looks like Tyler Gray was involved in that. Let's have to go to the
two
replay.
Trucks that were spinning into the infield there. It just classic case, the same thing. I mean, I know I keep bringing it up, but 3 and 4 is just it's tough to get through there, and there's not a lot of real estate. If you get to the point to where you're locking them up a little bit and you slide up into a truck, there's just not room to do that off of 3 and 4.
And as we take a look at the replay, I mean, going back, the 29 of Jake Nichols out of the straightaway into turn number 3 was getting bounced around like a ping pong ball. He even went onto the apron at one point, and I think that's what got him loose. And then the contact made there with Tyler Gray as they came out of turn number 4, sent them both spinning across the grass.
Yeah, it looked like when he came back up, he just didn't have enough room. And I mean, you can't go below the white line and get that flat and come back up and expect to save it. I mean, he did a pretty admirable job, but when you check up like that coming out of 4, everybody wants to go, and it looks like he just got in the back of him.
Well, folks, we are on lap number 19 here, pacing again for our third caution here in this race. These guys are racing hard as there is a cash payout to the winner of this race here today. And I tell you what, the Hard Charger Award definitely got to go to that number 14 of Braxton Proper. This guy started 23rd on the grid, made his way up to the race lead, was able to capitalize from a few cautions and pick up some positions. He didn't pit when the rest of them. I mean, Alex, right now, this guy, yeah, you're leading the race right now, but how does it come in terms to the long play? You think it's going to be effective with Moscow and DeMerchant taking fresh tires in the last caution?
Well, if they have fresh tires, I mean, I'm trying to think of how long the flag run actually was, but I mean, it'd be interesting to see how long he can stay out there. I mean, we just had a caution just come out, so I mean, we didn't really have that long of a green flag run. Curious to see if he can hang with the rest of the leaders. I mean, it was a great move to get him out front, but you really got to be able to go off of 3, go off of 1 and 2, and really kind of get as much speed as you can getting off the corners. If those guys all have fresh tires behind them, I don't know if that strategy is going to work, but it was a great move to get him out front. I'll be curious to see if he can stick it there and keep it there.
We'll have to see what happens when we go back to green, because Jason Moscow definitely pushed that 14 up way out of the pack. They got up into that clean air, was able to escape all the rest of the drivers and get out to a nice lead there, but it looked like the 22 of Kyle Weatherman was running them down right before we had the yellow.
Yeah, and Weatherman's got a fast truck. I mean, he's got a good line around the track, and he's been able to get consistent laps, from the very beginning. So I'd say he's one of the ones to keep your eye on throughout the rest of the race.
Yeah, and as I take a look down the list, folks, just want to let you know that a couple other hard chargers here. Quinn Johnston started 16th on the grid, is currently sitting in 4th position, as well as Skip Birdsey. He's the number 33 truck. He started 25th, is up in 8th. So we got a lot of double-digit starts here in the top 10. I tell you what, Alex, if I was one of those guys, you got to be happy with your standing, but at the same time be concerned that some of these single-digit guys are behind you that could be coming up behind you later on in this race.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, there's a lot of different strategies, it looks like. I mean, anytime you have the caution come out, it throws the entire strategy for the race pretty much out the window, because you're not going an entire full green flag run. You're not really getting to see where your tires fall off a whole lot, because we haven't really run a whole lot of green flag laps in this race yet. So, once we can get to that point, if we do, it'll definitely be interesting to see how it pans out. But for the most part, I think, if you can be crafty on pit road and keep it out front or keep it up in the top 5, you got a shot for it. It really just depends. I mean, there has been a lot of movers in the field from pretty far back, actually.
Yeah, definitely, and one of those movers is your race leader, Braxton Proper, coming across the start-finish line here in lap number 22. Will be setting the pace, taking us back green as the lights have come off that Mustang iRacing pace car heading into turn number 2 now. It will be Jason Moscow. Well, this is an interesting turn of events. Moscow, if you watched last caution, pushed the 14 up ahead of everybody, so now they're side by side. I think Moscow, starting on this outside lane, is going to get a little bit greedy, but keep an eye on the 22 and the 27 behind him, because these guys want that win just as bad.
Yeah, that was a huge push by Moscow, too. It almost looked like it was Talladega there for a second. He was just pushing the truck in front of him up as far as he could and getting as much position as he could. He did it pretty masterfully.
All right, folks, well, here we go. It will be lap number 23 taking us back green. You have up front the 14 of Braxton Proper, the 26 of Jason Moscow setting the pace. Here we go, coming into turn number 4. Let's get on our feet, folks, as the Mustang iRacing pace car is going to be set to go into the pits, and we'll be back to green once again. There goes the pace car into the pits. Here comes Braxton Proper, Jason Moscow, ready to go as they're setting the pace, and the green flag flies, and we're back to the race here at Charlotte. And look at Moscow. Oh, wow, I don't know about that, Alex. Moscow beat the 14 to the start-finish line.
I was looking at it. I mean, he looked like he was in front of him when they came around for the green flag. Yeah, and they're throwing the yellow now.
We're getting a yellow flag as it looks like Tyler Gray once again is going to be caught up in some incidents here. Heading out of turn number 4. Looks like there's going to be contact made with Cody Vincent and the 64 of Alex Hallinar. I think he just got spun out. A little bit of contact there. Somebody trying to make a move once they went back to green, and it looks like, as I'm seeing it as we look at the replay here,
Looked like maybe it was Skip Birdsey in the number 33. It got in the inside of him. That's what it looked like. Oh, no, actually it wasn't him.
For what I'm seeing, it looks like Tyler Gray got bumped there with the number 12. Number 12 knocked Tyler Gray loose. Number 12 of Cody Vincent there knocked Tyler Gray loose into the corner. And look at the damage on the back of that 25 now as he's making his way down the back straightaway, coming towards turn number 3. A lot of damage there on that 25. Tough break for that 25 truck. 2 cautions he's been involved in here today, and we're only not even at the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, it looks like the left rear of that truck is all bent up, and it's going to mess up the aerodynamics and mess up the effectiveness of the spoiler. So he's definitely going to have to pit right now. It looks like that's what he's doing.
One thing that I am still concerned about is Race Control's view on the 26 of Jason Moscow as one of the controversial topics that came up in actual NASCAR this year was the start, passing cars to start finish. I'm a Kurt Busch fan, and at Phoenix, Kurt Busch passed Jimmy Johnson before the start finish line and ended up getting a black flag and getting EOL'd because of it. So passionately, deep inside, I'm kind of concerned about this, but I'm not sure on iRacing's rules as to where that's a factor, because he did definitely beat Braxton Proper to the start finish line as they went back green. So it just kind of concerns me a little bit about that. But more the merrier for the 26. I mean, the guy's pushed his way through the field through trials and tribulations. And a guy that's kind of fallen off here, Alex, is Seth the Merchant. Our pole setter here today is currently sitting in 9th.
Yeah, Seth is actually, he's fallen back a little bit because it looks like that wreck just kind of messed up everybody. He's kind of got a little bit filed back, but I mean, going back to what you were talking about before with Moscow, I mean, everybody knows the leader sets the pace, and with iRacing it's a little bit tricky because once you get the pace car off the track, it's pretty much the leader's race to start at any point. But yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, it looked like pretty clearly, especially in the replay, you look at it, and he crossed the line first. So I mean, I'm not sure how he's still sitting out front, but I mean, we both know what we saw.
Well, folks, looks like the 26 may be escaping here with a freebie here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, we are at the halfway point of this race, so we are going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we will have some more truck racing action for you here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the green flag has flown. And I tell you what, Alex, watching this restart here into lap number 28, I think we got a shoe on the other foot as Braxton Proper now beats the 26 of Jason Moskow to the line. And hopefully he doesn't get black flagged. I think that kind of evens the odds a bit, as now Braxton Proper is back out to the lead heading into turn number 3.
Yeah, it certainly did. It's weird how it came. It just kind of worked itself out. But we're back under caution. But
yeah, we'll have to go look and get the replay for you there as what made up the caution here. It looks like the number 7. I'll have to see some of these guys here heading into turns. What does it look like? Turn number 3. 24 is going to get it. 24 of Nicholas Duquette's going to get into the 40 of McKissick. Send McKissick down over the apron. And there goes the 24. Looks like he's going to be towed off. And the 7 of Harold Schroederer is going to get caught up in that. And as we see some other cars, my goodness, taking a look back even further, some of these guys have been involved in this caution. Maybe just the damage. Looks like the 64 of Alex Hallinar is going to get into the 12 of Cody Vincent, as well as the number 4 of Danny Rudy is going to be involved in that by getting hit from the 7 of Harold Schroederer. My goodness, these guys are piling it up here. You can just tell that the drivers are anxious to get up to the front as they want to try to get in competition for the cash payout today here, Alex.
yeah, it's definitely getting a little dicey. I mean, it's around lap 27 right now, so or 28 as we're coming to the line. So I mean, I feel bad for Brandon McKissick. He's had a really rough race, but yeah, now this is the point of the race where you're going to start positioning yourself to get up front, and if you have anything for the leaders, you know, you're not really going to be holding a lot back now. So I think once we go back to green, we'll have a good idea as to who the guys are that we're going to be looking for a win.
And one of the guys that we were looking for so far, Alex, was the 14 there of Braxton Proper, who has since went into the pits. This is where the little strategy comes into play. He went into the pits, is going to go from up to first down to 13th here on lap number 30. It's going to be interesting to see if he can make his way back through the field, but that opens the door up wide for the 26 of Jason Moskow, the 22 of Kyle Weatherman, and still Seth the Merchant. In the light of these cautions, though we haven't had much green flag racing, the number 7, sitting in P7 is the number 19 of Seth the Merchant. And, you know, I've been asking your thoughts on this guy. What would you do if you were him? And right now, tell us, Alex, what do you think's going through the Merchant's mind?
Well, I think he's in a pretty good position right now. I mean, he's gotten a chance to see who can really run, and he's been biding his time and watching everybody, you know, battle for position and really just kind of riding. So, I mean, I think, you know, maybe he was kind of laying back a little bit to be a little conservative on the side of conservative with his tires. So, I mean, he's going to be in good shape when we take the green. But, I mean, really, it's anybody's race. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that are near the front that I think could really take it. I would watch the Merchant for sure because he's proven that he's been really fast. But, I mean, Kyle Weatherman, he's also another guy that we were watching earlier in the race, and he's laying down some fast laps too, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him right up there at the very end.
And I would say the 26 of Moskow has been one of the dominant trucks here today. You know, started P2 on the grid. Necessarily didn't have the fastest truck, but he's been pretty dominant leading these races, and when he wasn't in the lead, he was right there fighting his way back towards the lead behind Braxton Proper for the longest time. And still that got to give the guy credit for that push off the first caution when we came back to green. My goodness, that was a heck of a push there by Moskow to get Braxton Proper up away from the pack.
Yeah, Dustin, it really was. I mean, it's been very impressive to watch him run. It seems like he's one of the only trucks in the field that can pass anybody at will. I mean, he's got a great line around the track. He's got a real fast truck. He's kept it clean the whole race, and he's definitely at this point, I would say, he's got to be the guy to beat.
And as you can see, working his way on, the lights have come off that Mustang iRacing pace car now into turn number 2. And you can see that Moskow is trying to save some grip there on that tire by running that apron. He knows he doesn't want to wear the tread any further to give himself the best possible chance at winning the race here today.
Yeah, and every little bit counts. I mean, you know, the more you grip the wheel and just those tiny little scrub offs that you're doing in the turns, I mean, that could be the difference between having just a tenth of a quicker lap than the guy in back of you. So, I mean, with us being on lap 32 right now, I mean, it's definitely the time that you're pulling every trick you can out of your bag and seeing what you have for the rest of the race.
All right, folks, here we go. Coming into turn number 4. It is Weatherman up top. You got Moscow down below. Pace cars into the pits. Here we go. I think Moscow's going to run with it as he knows the 22 of Kyle Weatherman is looking pretty fast here today. And there they go. What a restart there by Jason Moscow, that number 26. Coming across the start-finish line, he caught the 22 sleeping. And look at that lead he's got heading into turn number 1.
Oh, that was just a perfect restart by Jason Moscow. I mean, he just kept it exactly what you said. He kept him sleeping right off of the green flag, and he's got the clean air. He's not fighting anybody for position, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him set sail a little bit.
And look here, back in P number 2, the 27 of Quinn Johnston trying to fend off the advancing Dwayne Vincent in that number 11 truck as they come across the start-finish line, and it looks like Weatherman's going to get beat out to that. Nice job. I mean, blocking is not one of the most reputable things in, but you got to hand it to the 27 of Quinn Johnston to fend off 2 cars who are back there battling for the 3rd spot.
And you see the 22 Kyle Weatherman. He's moving into 2nd right now, and just hugging that bottom white line, trying to get, or actually that was for the 3rd position. But he's a fast truck too, and it looks like they're actually going to swap back and forth a little bit there. But that's the best thing for the leader to see, is just let those guys mix it up as much as he can, so I can get out in front and stay there.
And I was just recently looking back at Tyler Gray coming off of turn 4, gets into the wall again with that 25 truck. And my goodness, I believe I saw the 24 of, who was that, Nicholas Duquette go through the grass out of turn number 4. He must be scared of that wall as he just went right through the grass and is able to maintain control of it. I think he was worried about Tyler getting into another wreck here today.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, man, that's definitely not the fastest way across the track. That's for sure. I wouldn't be down there, but these cars, these trucks are definitely not the same as like the say the Sprint Cup Gen 6.
Oh, we got contact! I'm sorry to cut you off, Alex. We have contact with P2. Kyle Weatherman climbs the track up into, look like as we head back. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. My goodness. 27 of Quinn Johnston's going to go up into the wall as a result of it. My goodness. Don't see a caution coming out. But man, that was tough break. That's what you were talking about early on, Alex, is that turn number 4 is going to claim some victims here today. And that's some good racing side by side. Weatherman and Johnston going at it. And unfortunately, Quinn Johnston is going to fall out back fast as he went up into the wall in turn 4.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's a quick way to not get any, to not make too many friends. I mean, the 22 is sticking right close down towards the bottom, and it looks like when he came back, didn't even check out that Quinn was there and just held his line and was trying to get off of 4 as quick as he could and got into the 27 and sent him to the wall. But I mean, for as much as the 27 was in his view for that, it's a little questionable to me.
Yeah, and as we look now back up to the race lead, folks, we got 12 laps remaining in this race here today. The split times as the 22 of Kyle Weatherman is gaining on the 26 of Jason Moscow. As he crossed the start-finish line last time, he was 0.2 of a second off. As they're coming down, you're going to see it's going to close the gap here. We'll have to take a look once it gets updated. He has since closed the gap from 0.2 to about 0.153 off of Jason Moscow. Chris Overland back in 3rd. This is amazing here, Alex. Second position's right there on him, but look at the 1.5 second gap between P2 and P3.
Yeah, we talked before. I said Seth the Merchant was probably in a good spot because he had avoided all the melee before and kept his nose clean for the most part of the race. And he's sitting here in 4th place, and I mean, he's got a great spot to move up. He may be running out of laps here, but Kyle Weatherman and Chris Overland, if they fight a little bit, they're going to let Moscow just run away with this.
Yeah, and as we see, 10 laps to go as they crossed the start-finish last time. They're now heading into turn number 3. It'll be 9 laps to go this time around. Moscow dominating the track all day today. And Kyle Weatherman! Turn number 4 claims its next victim, and it's the 22. A little bit of karma there for the 22 as he went up into the wall. and it looks like he's going to be able to maintain control of that, and he's going to lose out. So I think at this point, folks, it may be all she wrote for the 26th of Jason Moskow, as this is his race to lose at this point.
Yeah, there's no way that Weatherman's going to catch him now. I mean, that's if it flattened the fender enough that it'd give him a push coming off any of those turns, I mean, he's not going to be able to gain on Moskow, and he's stretching out his lead right now. And if you're looking at third and fourth place, they've really kind of reeled him in. The 22's kind of going backwards right now.
And as we look at the race leader, McKissick, not too happy there with the 26 of Moskow as he shows him a little bit of dash at him. Coming into turn number 3, now Moskow has extended his lead to 1.3 seconds over Weatherman. We'll have to see what it is this time around when he comes across the start-finish line. And it looks like
it's 3 wide too going into the quad oval. They didn't mean to cut you off, but they managed to get 3 wide going off the 4, and I don't know how they did that, but looks like all 3 of the trucks were able to make it out of there.
Pretty impressive, especially turn 4 collecting as many cars as it has today up into the wall. And looking back now, Moskow is still out to a 1.5 second lead there over your boy DeMerchant. He is now in second place. So if we have this time around 6 laps remaining in this race, do you think it's still enough time for the 19 of DeMerchant to catch Moskow?
Well, I mean, he's got, if they can settle down and he can stay out, without having a big challenge behind him for that position. I don't know. It's looking like he's running him down pretty fast right now. I mean, he was running a 28.777 the last lap, and the leader was actually just ran a 29.4. So he's certainly catching him pretty quick.
Yeah, as we've seen, we'll have to take a look at the split this time around as DeMerchant now comes across the start-finish line. Wow, he is halved. In 2 laps, he is halved his time from 1.5 seconds down to 0.7 seconds off. Under half his time, I should say, off of Moskow. So this is going to be interesting now as we have 5 laps remaining in this race here, Alex. It would be interesting to see if DeMerchant's able to catch up with Moskow.
Well, at this point, he's certainly quicker. I mean, he's got the position for it. Catching somebody is one thing. I've heard it said a bunch of times, but catching somebody is one thing. Passing him is a different one. I don't know if he can really get him, and then we just see the caution come out just now.
Wow, and it looks like it's going to be Weatherman. Weatherman's going to go into the 24 of, I believe that's Duquette. 24 of Nicholas Duquette, as they were coming around turn number 2? Turn 4, excuse me. Turn 4, and wow, do they hook up there out of turn number 4? And it looks like it was just spinning from the 24 of Duquette round into the 22, and he goes spinning, and Weatherman loses control over it, and man, does he go up into the wall and take a hard bounce off the wall.
Yeah, he hammered that wall. He once he got into the truck that he got into, I mean, he's made it a point to really kind of drive a little bit on the aggressive side, and I think that kind of came back to bite him, no doubt.
Well, it looks like it may be all she wrote here today. Still thinking we may have a green-white checkered possibly, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. I think we're going to end this one on a yellow, and it looks like the 26 of Jason Moskow will be taking victory here today. P2 will go to the 19 of Seth DeMerchant, 47 of Chris Overland, the 28 of Colin Bauer, and the 30 of Ed Hewitt. We'll round out your top 5 here today, but we're going to let these guys pace it out, and we'll see. I don't think we're going to go back to green. What do you think, Alex?
Can't really see it happening. I mean, I think we're pretty much going to end this under yellow. But you got to give tip your cap to Jason Moskow. I mean, he had a really good approach to the race from the beginning. He kind of took the old school approach, just be the fastest truck. I mean, he's pretty much been the fastest guy since they dropped the green flag. A little bit questionable of a call when he kind of jumped the restart and ahead of the leader when he was in second place a little bit further back in the race, but no call. So, I mean, hey, I would stay out front too. And he's been the fastest truck pretty much all night until second place was running him down for a little bit, but I don't think he was really going to catch him anyway.
Now we're seeing them make their way around the track here, I believe coming out of turn number 4. Still pacing it out here to finish out their actual laps. They're heading into turn 4 now. And these guys, I mean, DeMerchant, too little too quick. for him. Unfortunately, he was gaining on him. What an impressive run it was by that 19 truck, as he was really looking like he had the chance to gain on him if we'd have stayed green. I would love to see how close he would actually got.
Yeah, I would have too. I mean, he was catching him. That's for sure. I mean, I know I keep going back to the same thing, but I don't think he would have had enough to quite pass him, at least pass him cleanly. But I mean, he was the faster truck for a while, but it looked like the leader was just trying to bide his time and just run smooth, hit his marks every lap, and looks like it paid off.
Now they're making their way into the back straightaway, just finally finishing out their final pace lap here on the last lap. And, again, looking at DeMerchant, man, I tell you, he's looking at that 26 and just says, I started ahead of you, and now I'm going to finish behind you. But it was a good, hard-fought battle. I think the pivotal move there for Moscow was coming off that caution where he pushed Braxton Proper in the 14 truck up away from the pack. I think that really asserted his dominance here in the race here today. And tough break. Braxton Proper started in this race not too far. Taking a look here, he started 23rd, and he was leading the race. He's going to finish 7th here today. But when he was pushing him, it was the fact that Braxton Proper stayed out and didn't pit with the rest of the pack that kind of put a wrench in his gears as far as his strategy goes here today.
Yeah, I don't think Braxton has anything to hold his head low about. I mean, he came up with a good strategy, was fast, was able to hang out for a while, and to get a 7th place finish out of it with the move that he made, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So, folks, we are going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have some interviews with some of the drivers here today to see if we can get the top 3 up there for you as these guys are going to make their way to their pit stalls and get out of their trucks. And I know Moscow's going to work his little victory lap here with some of the guys. So we will be back here shortly. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. This all-pro racing special event with a cash payout going to the winner, who is the 26 of Jason Moscow here today. Hard-fought battle there for the 26, but he is going to run away with the victory here today. Coming in second, you got the 19 of Seth DeMerchant, followed by the 47 of Chris Overland in third. Colin Bauer, the number 28 truck, in fourth, and the number 30 of Ed Hewitt's going to round out your top 5 here today. Great racing going on. We were seeing if we could get some driver interviews for it. Since we can't get the top 3, let's go ahead and go down to Ed Hewitt. Alex, I think, is joined down there with him. See if he can get some highlights there from the number 30.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, this is Alex up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
I'm good, man. Well, you were able to get a pretty good finish out of this race. I know there was a lot of action pretty much in front of behind you for most of the evening, or for most of the race. Tell us a little bit about your race and how did you end up bringing this truck home in the position you did?
Well, it's kind of difficult out there in this Charlotte tonight here. I mean, going from the back to the front, I kept getting fresh tires, and I hoped that would pay off at the end. And actually, it did pay off. I mean, I rode up in, I think it was 5th spot here tonight, and it was just an awesome race. We have a lot of good fast drivers up towards the front. I didn't think I was going to hang on. I was messing with the set there earlier coming on to this race tonight, and it was just unbelievable. I got it. I kind of got it up in there where I needed to be. Adjusted a little spring work. My pit crew did, and said, let's get it back out on the track, and it was just awesome. On there, it would just like go right to the front.
Well, fantastic. I mean, it was a good run for you. You were able to keep the truck clean for the majority of the night, and you did come home in 5th place, so that's definitely a respectful position. So congratulations on your good run tonight.
Well, thank you, Alex, there, and I want to thank you, All Pro Racing there, for having me over here tonight and racing. It was awesome. They do a great job here. So, hey, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks to you, Ed. I appreciate it very much. Dustin, back to you.
All right, that was Ed Hewitt, the number 30 truck, finishing 5th here today. He started in 24th position, was able to hard charge his way through the field and finish in the top 5. But a guy we're going to go to now is the number 14 of Braxton Proper coming into the race here today. Braxton was looking pretty good. He started 23rd and was able to finish 7th. But Braxton, you led some of the laps going into the one of the cautions coming back green. You elected to stay out, which ended up look like it hurt you in the long run. What was you guys thinking as far as strategy?
Really, I thought I'd just stay out there as long as I could, and I knew 26, he had a fast car, and he was behind me all race, and so I thought I'd pit early and see if he would stay out, and he did, and I thought they would all pit, but it hurt me in the long run. But all those guys had fast cars, and my truck wasn't fast enough to get up there again, and it just turned out to finish 7th, I guess.
Well, starting 23rd and finishing 7th is no small feat, so you gotta keep your head held high, as that was good working through the field. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to today for this finish?
I just want to thank you guys for letting me come into the race and just having fun, and just keep on doing what you guys are doing.
All right, Alex, you got anything for Braxton?
Braxton, I just wanted to tell you I thought it was a great run. It was a strategy that I didn't expect to really see, but for you to be able to start as far back as you did and be able to make that move work, I mean, you finished 7th. I know you wanted to catch the 26, and you guys weren't quite as fast as he was, but I mean, to be able to bring it home 7th, that is definitely a pretty impressive move. So it was fun to watch you tonight, bud.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I'll be looking to join you guys some more.
All right, thank you much, Braxton. We're going to go to the number 40 of Brandon McKissick. This guy got caught up in a few cautions, was looking like one of the hopefuls to win this race here today. And I tell you what, it was tough to see him get caught up in it. And I tell you, looking at it, Brandon, you can't be too happy with where you finish here. It looks like you're going to finish in P17, 7 laps down. Can you tell us a little bit what you've seen as far as the cautions?
Well, I was involved in the first caution, unfortunately. I was side by side with, I believe, the car number 28, and we were side by side for about 2 laps, and coming out of 4, he just got a little tight, got into my door, and I ended up hitting the wall. I should have kept it up there, but my car got loose on the wall, turned down, and collected at least half the field, and ruined my own chances as well, so...
We saw at one point where Jason Moscow was coming down the back straightaway there towards the end of the race, and you let him on the inside. Was there any kind of communication there with the 26, the leader, letting you know that he was behind you?
Well, I saw my relative. I saw him coming, so I just went high and just got out the way. I mean, I didn't want to interfere with their battle, considering how slow I was after I had damage there.
Well, it's a tough break there for the 40 truck here today. Started 7th, going to finish 17th. Is there anybody you want to give a shout-out to while we got you here on the air?
Well, the first shout-out I'll give is to you guys for hosting the race. I appreciate what you guys do. And keep it up. It sounds like you're all on the big things.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much for taking part in the race here today, and we look forward to seeing more from the 40 truck.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, Alex, what a race it was here today. 50 laps coming at us today, and 50 laps of great race action we had here today. What's some of your final thoughts here on what we saw here at Charlotte?
Well, we had some good racing. We really did. I mean, we had a decent amount of green flag run where we could really kind of see a little bit of racing. We had some interesting pit strategies, definitely that came into play. Saw some pretty intense wrecks from some decisions that may be a little bit questionable in a couple. But I mean, I don't really think anything was intentional in the race or anything like that as far as any of the wrecks that we saw. Just people trying to move up, and it was definitely a lot of fun from this vantage point. So I was excited to watch it, and it was great to see a fast truck be able to win the race. And I would definitely say the fastest truck definitely won today.
Yeah, some good hard-fought battles. You could tell the nerves were up there. Anytime you put cash on the line and put somebody in the victory lane, everybody's going to be fighting hard for their positions, and we saw that here and brought out about 5 cautions here today. Tough break there for those involved, but it will be the 26 of Jason Moscow taking victory here today at Charlotte. We want to thank you again for joining us out here on Twitch. Here, if you're interested in joining anything on the All Pro, any race series that All Pro might have, check them out on the web, www.all-pro-racing.com, or on Facebook, just look up All Pro Racing. But again, we want to thank you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and give you the top 10 rundown of the race results here. It will be the 26 of Jason Moscow finishing first, followed by the 19 of Seth DeMerchant. The 47 of Chris Overland is in third. You got the 28 of Colin Bauer in fourth. The number 30 of Ed Hewitt rounds out the top 5. Jake Nichols in the 29 truck will come in 6th. The 14 of Braxton Proper will take 7th. Donald King, the Mr. All-Pro himself, the number 23 truck, will be taking number 8. You got Alex Hallinar, the 64, in 9th. And Skip Bergsey, the number 33 truck, will round out your top 10 here today. Again, folks, we want to thank you for tuning in here tonight. For Alex Rich in the booth, Dustin Caldwell here coming at you, Michael D'Amico on cameras, and the lovely Ronald James, who came a little bit late, but we'll hope to see more from him in the future. We want to say thank you for tuning in here to the All Pro Broadcast Network. Until next time, folks, keep it safe, and we'll see you.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.